All right, so everyone have a seat. Now, because we're barefoot and we have weights, you have to be very careful to know where your weights are so that you don't trip on them, and have a good grip on them when you're using them so that you don't drop them on your feet. The rule of thumb is that if you're using weights lever style away from your body, we use lighter weights. When we use weights closer to our body, we can use a little bit heavier weights. So you want to know that, and you'll feel your way through. And I want you to try to use weights as heavy as you can, because in that way you'll find your edge. And when you find your edge, it's in that place that change happens. Okay, guys? Yeah, okay. So sit up nice and tall. Let's just center ourselves and be present and be here now. So close your eyes and notice your breath. Your alignment of your spine is always important. So I want you to take the bottom of your shoulder blades down and the tip of your chin back, and feel an expanse from the center of your chest out and wide. And in this space, you're going to breathe. This alignment of your spine is strengthening your body, but it also serves your organs, your heart, your lungs. You can probably feel yourself fuller in your chest. You should all know how to breathe by now. In through your nose, keeping the belly slightly engaged. Expanding from the low ribs, the middle ribs, and the upper ribs. And because this is our yoga with weights class, we're not going to spend a lot of time on the floor because we have to warm up mostly standing. So set your intention just to notice your breath, to stay with the breath, to be here now. Don't worry about forgetting things, because whatever you think you've forgotten, it will come back to you. It does. We have the same thoughts 10,000 times. Maybe we can be there in the quiet for now and just listen to our body and our commitment to stay strong and flexible. Slowly open your eyes. Today I want you to round, make circles with your ribs. Let's start defrosting our spine. So the ribs are just mixing the energy around you. Make it a big, good mix. Yeah. Maybe the circles will be a little bit bigger. Keeping the belly back. Good. And then change directions. Other way. Good. Come back to center. Take your right hand to the floor. Reach all the way to the right. Get a nice length. Now I want you to, again, this is also for our core. I want you to imagine the space between your upper ribs and your upper pelvis and your low rib is going to be like an accordion. So as you move up, you want to squeeze that accordion and come to the other side and reach. Now you're opening the accordion on the right, but you're squeezing it closed on the left. And then inhale back to center, then accordion and open. So this is also core work, guys. Inhale, moving with the breath. You're an accordion, playing the most beautiful music, right? And back to center. Take your elbows back and give yourself a hug on an exhale. Inhale, elbows back. And then exhale, your arms over your head. Now, if you have shoulder issues, you can take your arms wherever they feel they can go and back. So you're gonna Respect your body, right? Always. Inhale. And you're going to exhale as you close off. Exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale. Oh, yeah. Opening up. Shoulder blades down. Take your hands to the floor and make your way into table pose. Hands and knees. And then make your way to cat and cow. You can always come into some hip circles if you choose. That's really a great thing to do. I like to do that to start defrosting my body. And of course, it depends on how much news I listen to that morning on TV. Not TV, but my devices, ridiculous. Come onto your tiptoes and take your hips back and just take half circles, right and left. Just get into your feet. Good. Then make your way to table. Make sure your weight is in your root of your first finger, your fingertips. That'll take the weight off of your wrist. Keep the belly back, put the shoulder blades down your back, and together will also keep the weight off your wrists. And then start to lift up into down dog. And walk your dog. Notice how stiff or warm your hamstrings are. And let's just notice that. As you bend your left knee, you're going to take your right hip back. Lots of length in that accordion. And then as you exhale, you're going to lengthen the left leg, but maybe accordion full on the left side. Just take one more on each side, noticing your breath. And then start to walk your feet to your hands. You're going to have to soften your knees and come onto your tiptoes. Keep your feet pressing down and circle your arms all the way up, all the way. Grab your left wrist, flipping your left palm away from you, lifting tall, exhale to the right. Inhale to center, grab your right wrist and lift, and exhale to your left. Oh yeah. All the way, open your heart and release. Now I want you to step right and left. Right, we're going to move our hands to left. We're going to move a little quicker with our breath. Maybe take 2 moves with an inhale and 2 moves with an exhale. This is just to heat up the body. Now, when you keep your belly engaged, this is where the fire is in your core, your solar plexus. Think of it as a sun of heat. And you're breathing, the breath is like a bellows feeding the fire. Now take your arms up over your head if it's available, or in front of you if that's better. Good. Just get some movement. Now I want you to start bending your knee. Let's get into the quad a little bit. Pull, pull, pull. This is just to warm up. Pull, pull, pull. Good. This is really not for yoga. This is just for the weights part. Now, when we're doing weights, when we're practicing with the weights, I want you to exhale through your mouth. That's going to be great for your core. And then just take some hip circles. Good. Hip circles, right and left. Good. And then take your arms up over your head and lift your right knee. And then inhale back to center. And then exhale to the left. Now we're going to do that several times. Exhale. So I want you to get used to breathing, exhaling through your mouth. And notice how the belly draws back. When you lift your knee, you're getting into the flexors a bit. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. And so let's start by grabbing maybe some more lighter weights. I'm going to do 5s because we're going to do things that are a little bit closer to our body. So we are going to do shoulder press. So You decide. And if it gets too heavy, you are going to let those weights go and maybe pick up lighter weights. So you're going to keep your elbows close, shoulder blades together, step to your right. I really like to start this way and come into a curtsy. And then step to your left and come into a curtsy. So not being British, you know what to do anyway, right? So we're going to start with biceps, hammer curls. So you're going to lift and lower, and lift and lower, biceps. So when you know what part of your body you're working on, exhale. This is where the prana goes. And that's how you keep those muscles engaged while you're practicing hammer curls. Let me hear ya. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and back to center. Just kind of roll your shoulders. Good. Now you're going to step out so that your left foot is behind your right, and we're going to stay right where we're at. And this time we're going to keep our arms in front of us, just like we did as if we're doing hammer curls, but we're going to lift our elbows and lower our hips. Exhale. We don't have to do a whole lot of these. Janine, this is for that part of your body that you were discussing. And you know, we have to also learn to love our bodies the way they are, as long as we're healthy. How lucky are we? 6, 5, 4, stay low, 3, 2, 1, hold it, and come back to center. And just make some hip circles. Remember your breath, coming back to the shoulder blades, down your back and together. And now you're going to step into your left foot and take your right foot behind you. Make sure the left hip draws back. And now we're going to do shoulder press. Ready? Shoulder blades together and lift. If you have shoulder issues, you can do it in front of you. This works too. Slightly different muscles. Eight, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it, stay low, and come back to center. And release your weights. Take some hip circles. Good. Now, inhale, circle your arms all the way up. We're going to come back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look halfway up. Exhale, step back to plank. So remember, knees can be up, knees can be down. The only thing that's engaged is your core lifting, but you want the shoulder blades together. I'm really interested in shoulder blades together. And then make your way to table. Stack your forearms like I Dream of Jeannie. Yeah. And take your forearms to the floor in that way. Then as you inhale, you're going to take your right elbow up. This takes the scapula to the spine, and you're going to keep the belly engaged. So it's also a lot of things happening. And then exhale back. And now on the left, elbow back and down. So not only does this strengthen your back, but it also gets it in line. Exhale, lift for your mouth. That way, you get right into the shoulders. Good. Make it the full movement. Ready? Let's count. 8. Count with me. And 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh yeah, last hand. And make your way into a child pose. We're gonna be back here. But just notice where your hips are. I'm hoping you're warm enough to get your hips back. Check in with the breath. Make your way back through table. Fingerprints down. There should be no weight in your wrists. Roll your inner elbows back, your upper arm bones out. And that will also give you some stability in your arms and alignment. And then walk your dog. Oh yeah. And then walk your feet to your hands. Oh, so we've been here before. Lift the belly up, hold a little deeper. Press your feet down, really with engagement, like you want to make an impression in the mat. Inhale, circle your arms all the way up. Exhale, palms together to your heart center. And grab your weights. Yay! Now you're really standing nice and tall, shoulder blades back. Step your right foot down, take your left behind you. Your right hip is out. This time we're going to take our biceps out. Exhale. So when we get to the icky stuff, I'll try to think of a story to tell you. I want to hear you breathing. Slow is the way, no momentum, total muscle energy. 8, 7, 6, 5, biceps. 4, 3, 2. We're going to do a lot of tries too. And back to center. Oh yeah. And undulate your hips. Now you're going to step into your left foot and take your right foot behind. Take your arms back where they were. And I call this chicken dance. Up, elbows go up as your hips maybe go a little lower. So with your belly back, you're getting into the quads too. The elbows go towards your ribs and out. You should feel those little caps at the top of your arms. Stay low. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it. And all the way back to center. Undulate your hips. Shoulder blades back. Oh, yum. Good. Now we're going to go back to the right. So if this is too much, if you've had enough of this, you can stay nice and tall. You don't have to do this. But we're going to come back to our shoulders. Remember, shoulders. And as you lift, maybe you lower your hips. So we're doing more reps. And I'm hoping by the time you're done, you feel some relief. If you don't, then maybe you're not working hard enough and you might need some heavier weights. You can make your weights weightier, maybe by bringing a second lighter weight into each hand, stacking them. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it up. And all the way back to center. Oh, make a nice circle. Oh, yeah. One way and the other. Oh, shoulder blades back. And now we're going to do something again on the left and lower. Now this time we're just going to do the first tricep. So lower, you don't have to stay in this pose, but it's really great if you can, even for a little while. You're going to take your elbows back and tip forward and then push. This is triceps. So your upper arm bones, your humerus bones, don't move. The only thing that's moving is your forearm down, your belly back, and maybe you're lowering your hips a little. So this is our first tricep. Might take a while to get that sizzle there. But we're gonna be back here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now you're gonna hold the weights back and you're gonna squeeze together. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and all the way back up. I'm hoping that last movement got a nice feeling in the triceps. Inhale, shoulder blades back. Exhale, fold forward and release your weights. Good. Inhale, look halfway up. Exhale, step back to plank. This is core work here when we stay in plank. And then lower either your knees or your chest or your belly, whatever. Make sure your hands are in your upper or beside your upper ribs. Press the your pelvis down. Lift your heart. Oh, so this is the beginning, getting into loosening up our low back a little. Good. Exhale through table and into down dog. Oh, yeah. And walk your dog. Connect with your breath, shoulder blades back. Inhale, lift your right leg, bend your right knee and open the right hip. Find a little opening there. Good. Extend your right leg all the way back. Exhale and step your right foot forward. So you're going to come into a crescent warrior. I want you to lift and lower your hips and just see where you're at with your hips. You want to have your weights around. You want lights and heavies. So you might want to adjust it. I don't like to have my weights in the camera, but I guess I'll have to. Okay. Nice deep lunge. Press down and come all the way up. So I want you to feel that first. I want you to feel the stability, the shoulder blades back, the nice deep lunge, the awakeness of your back, left, inner thigh, right? That's the yoga part we need, okay? Now we're going to do some chest openers. So I can use a very heavy weight here. You might not want quite such heavy weight. Now listen carefully. This is how you lift it up. Listen carefully. You're going to take your weights and take one weight to your thigh and take the other weight to your thigh bone. Make sure you're nice and steady and then release. Can I see you guys doing that? Okay. Then you're going to tip slightly forward, reach your arms forward and pull them back. Row. We'll row, row, row in our boat. So this is for the bigger muscles in our back. But if you breathe, exhale through your mouth, you're not only doing your back, but you're doing your core. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then you're going to come all the way into warrior 2. Just open your hips. So your right foot's directly out to the right. Your left toes are forward and your hips are open. So now you're really nice and steady. Shoulder blades back. Now we're going to work more on our chest. So you're going to take your weights in front of you and pull them up. Exhale. Stay in warrior 2. I got distracted. If it's available, you can find a little pulse in the warrior 2, lifting and lowering. So you can use heavy weights here, guys. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Now this is how you're going to release them. You take your weights to your body, dip your pelvis forward, taking your hips back, and then you put your weights down. Take your hands back to the front of your mat and make your way into down dog. Clear it out in dog. Notice if one side of your body feels a little stronger than the other. That's really a nice way of being able to see that you're doing the things that you're supposed to be doing, right? Take a breath. Maybe 2. Lift your left leg, bend your left knee and open it up. Open it up. Find a nice open hip. Extend your left leg back. Then step your left foot forward, preparing for crescent warrior. So lift and lower your hips. I want you to just feel into it in the left side. Press your feet down and circle your arms up. Let's get our connection, right? Yeah. Now lean forward and get whatever weights you like. Now this is how you grab your weights. You take your weights to your thigh bone. And then you get your way into your alignment. And then shoulder blades back. Good. You're in crescent warrior. Now you're going to dip forward. And we're back to our second set of rows. Exhale back, reach. Now, if you're using really heavy weights, you might not need to do quite that many. So heavy is relative, just like truth. It's all relative. So you decide what your weight is. Let's do 8 more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take your weights to your thigh bone. And now you're going to pivot your legs into warrior 2, your feet to warrior 2. Take your right weight to your right hip. So you can really take the shoulder blades back. And we mean business about alignment. The shoulder blades are down our back. The top of the pelvis is tipped back and you stay low. Come to your breath. Take your arms inside your thighs and lift. Stay low, maybe a little pulse in your front leg. So this is going to keep the thigh bones, the hips juiced up, the quads toned. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now take your weights to your hips, lean forward. And then slowly release them, coming back to the front of your mat. Step back to dog. Oh, yeah. And then lower your knees into a child pose, taking your hips back and lowering your heart. Good. Now we're going to start back at the top to do our third and final set. Make your way back through table and into some cats and cows. I'm hoping you guys are nice and toned and warmed up by now. Shoulder blades hug together, don't forget. And make your way into a down dog. And then take your feet to your hands or your hands to your feet in any way you choose. Keeping the belly lifted. Press your feet down. Circle your arms all the way up. Exhale, palms together. And release. Okay. We're going to do our third set of the standing. If it's too much with weights, You don't need weights. If it's too much getting into your hips here, stand here and bend your knees. Find your way. So now you're going to take your weights, whatever weights you use. I think I use my fives. I use my fives. You might want less lighter weights now. You'll see. Okay, ready? Step into your right foot. Take your left back. Stay low. Last tricep, shoulder blades back. And we're going to go up. So this is what we're going to do now. We're going to go halfway up and just lift from the halfway up. Your palms are lifting up, are facing up, but just halfway, really quiet. It's not quiet to your bicep. And by now, you shouldn't have to be doing too many more. So let's do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, take your weights to your hips. Come back to center. Shoulder blades back. And just move your hips in circles. Ah, good. Step into your left foot. Take your right foot behind you. I think I use lesser weights here. Arms in front of you and lift. Chicken dance. Elbows go from the side of your ribs out. You can come lower, taking your left hip back. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take your weights to your hips. Come to center. Shoulder blades back. Maybe some shoulder circles. One more set of here. Step your right foot. Take your left foot back. Remember what we did next, guys? Now you might want less weight. Well, this is a pose you might want more weight. You'll see, because this is the third set. Exhale. Eight, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And all the way back to center. Take your weights to your hips. Now I know for the next one, I'm going to need lighter weights. So I'm going to fold forward and then release the weights. And I'm going to pick up lighter weights and just take a nice fold here. Press your feet down, take your weights to your thigh bones, and then come all the way up. That's how it's done with weights. Good. Last one here, step into your left foot, take your right foot behind you, and lower. You remember what we did? Triceps, shoulder blades back, elbows back. Only thing that moves is the up and down movement of your hips if you choose, and the forearms back. So triceps are one of those muscles that looks good when it's kind of toned up. So keep your mind on those muscles. You guys ready to count? 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now hold it back, and you're going to press the weights together. Keep the shoulder blades hugged together. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh yeah. Just kind of roll your neck. So while we have our weights in our hands and we're standing tall, we're going to start doing some wrist exercises. Standing tall, I want you to aim the weights behind you, shoulder blades back. And you're going to just flick your wrists back. Yeah, just flick your wrists. You see it, guys? This is one really, this feels good for me when I need it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. But now you're going to take the palms forward. Now your shoulder blades are super back. Down your back, belly's back. And you're going to flick your wrists forward. Just the wrist. Good. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, and release. Good. And just take some shoulder circles. Big full breath. Some hip circles. Yeah, big full breath. Janine, you okay? Oh, okay. And just notice how you're standing, notice how you're feeling. So we're going to do one more in the standing, and then we'll get into core. Okay? So let's come into the front of your mat, feet hip width apart and parallel. Let's come into some Utkatasana, Fierce Warrior. So this Fierce Warrior is not only a heart attitude, you know, I am fierce, you know. I am channeling Stacey Abrams, but you want to have your own channel yourself, that strength within you that you know you have. Circle your arms up just to begin with. Let's see where we're at. Then take your palms back, palms up, come onto your tiptoes. And then I want you to just kind of walk your feet, lift one foot and the other. Yeah. Then circle your arms up. See if you can stay in Utkatasana. Now, if you need a break, give yourself a break, for God's sake. Then you're going to circle your arms up when you're ready and twist to your right. Now, you can stay upright, or you can take your left elbow outside your right thigh bone and lean back, opening up your heart. That's it. Perfect. Then inhale back to center. Oh, yeah, that was good. And find it on the other side, either upright or not. And lean back and really keep the right hip back, your right knee in line with the left. Yeah. And all the way up to center. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look halfway up. Exhale, step back to dog. And then let's make our way into a down dog, right from here. Let's do that from here. We're going to do the last standing. So lift your right leg up. You can bend your right knee and open it up. This is really a hard practice, guys. I hope it's okay. Keep your right leg lifted. And then step your right foot forward. Now you can come into Warrior One and grab whatever weights you want. I take my heaviest, because if you remember, we're doing rows. And then take your waist to the top of your thigh bone, really getting nice and grounded, and then come all the way up. That's the way to do it. Now you can have your back foot on the floor or on the tiptoes. Both good options. I don't know. Okay, and then we're gonna row. Ready? This is the third row. Eight, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now from here, we're going to do some triceps. You might want to just let your weights go. This is a lot of weight for a tricep. I'm going to let my weights go. You can pick up lighter weights or not have any weights at all. You really don't need any. But while your elbows are back, anyway, you're gonna press and press and press. So we got lots of triceps in today. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Making sure your weights are on your way. Make your way back into down dog. Lift your left leg up behind you, opening it up. And then step your left foot forward, either into your lunge. So this is the last lunge on the left side, or into warrior 1. Take whatever weights you want to use and come back up onto your thigh and up. So you're really safe and you're ready. So this is a 4th set. So this time we're going to open it up. Open our elbows up. So you're going to dip forward and open. Just a variation. More chest. On the left side. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the weights wide and step back to front. And that's, we're done standing. How do you like that? As a matter of fact, let's make our way into one more child pose. Just to take stock, soften your heart. Now, if you want, make sure your weights are really out of your way. You can widen your hands, take your fingertips to the floor. So your arms are wide. And imagine I glued your fingertips there, and you're trying to pull them back. Pull them back right into the back of the shoulders. Keep your armpits lifted, the shoulders hugging, the fingers pulling back, and then lower your head. This is a variation of puppy dog. And just breathe into that beautiful fascia stretch in your back. And that armpit area, all of it. Oh, yeah. And all the way back to the table. And onto your belly. And just when you think the coast is clear, we're going to come into Sphinx. So when you look down, your forearms are parallel to one another, and your elbows are at 90 degrees. So check the parallel arms and the 90-degree elbows. Oh, great. Okay. Now, I want to just begin by pressing your forearms down. We're going to do a little core, and then we're going to do those push-ups that Beth likes to do that. Press your forearms down and draw them back, and you'll feel a hugging in the shoulder blades. Now, roll, go side to side as you roll your knees toward the floor. You might feel a little release. And you're going to press your knees down so much that you make an impression in the mat. As you exhale, you're going to lift your hips and look at your belly. This is core work. And then inhale all the way back down. So the breathing is super important here. As you exhale and draw down, you're going to really draw the belly back. Look at your core. And then inhale all the way back. You guys got there? Let's do it. There's no rush. Remember, we're here now. So you should feel that your belly has been engaged the whole practice anyway. This kind of brings it home a little. Let's do 4 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. And all the way back. Now I want you to stack your forearms under your forehead and just undulate your hips right and left. Just make sure there's no tension in your back, because now we're going to do some of those push-ups, right? Good. So take your hands to your outside your upper ribs, shoulder blades back. And as you inhale, you're going to lift, but I want you to lift your chin last, and you'll get a nice big lift. And then as you exhale, elbows go slightly wide, just slightly wide. And then inhale, exhale. We're going to do 8 more. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one. Lift it up and lower all the way back down, stacking your forehead, arms under your forehead, and undulating your hips right and left. Oh, yummy. Let's get back one more time to the cobra push-ups. We're going to do a little more core when we're on our back. Ready? Chin lifts up last. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. We already did a lot of buys and tries. 1, oh, and all the way back down. Good. I think our job here is done. So make your way to table pose. Let's do a few more cats and cows. Make sure there's no tense anywhere. You know what I even like to do here, guys, is sit back on my heels. Not everyone can do it. You might want to put a block or something under your hips. And if this feels really lousy, come into child pose. It doesn't matter. Find what feels a good release for you. Good. And then come on to your left hip. And extend your legs in front of you. Let's do a little core and some stretching. So let's get our weights out of our way. I don't want any stuffed toes. I don't want any weights really being a detriment, which they should never be. Good. Draw your knees to your chest. Yeah. Get a nice stretch in your low back. Acknowledge her. Yeah. And your low back is thanking you for all the core and body work you've been doing today. So we're going to do a little bit more core work. We're going to begin by taking your heels in front of you with your feet, not your feet. Your ankles are flexed and your toes are bright. And just keeping your heels stuck and pulling back gets right into your core. Core work does not have to be nasty. So keep your heels drawn back, your belly engaged, and you're just going to lean back and let your heels pulling back draw you up, right? Inhale back. Exhale, heels pull you up. Inhale. Good. I want to thank you all for being here with me. If it wasn't for you, I don't know what would be with a fire in me. So this is just so good for all of us, I hope, but I want to thank you. Okay, 10 more. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, good, 2, 1, lift. Oh, good. Now I want you to sit cross your shins, crisscross applesauce style, and see if you can just tip forward slightly. You might not have to go very far to get a nice stretch in your low back. Kathy B, when we're done, I want to know how your back is doing. And just kind of find your way. Notice how when you close your eyes and exhale, you might get a little lower. It doesn't matter. There's no goal here. It's just noticing the sensations of the journey, right? And then come all the way up. I'd like to do a boat pose. So boat pose can be with your hands behind you. You can lift your toes. You can keep your knees bent. You can take your arms in front of you. So I want you to find what feels right for you and just find a little pulse wherever you're at. So this goes a little bit higher up into the core. And you'll notice, I hope, that it's already pretty fired up. So during the week, we do a lot more with our low bodies, but we got in there too. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Take your feet to the floor. Round your back. Give yourself a hug. Let's just do one. Extending your legs long. I like to roll my inner thigh bones toward the floor and widen my bum. That's an old Anusara trick. Press your thigh bones to the floor. Flex your ankles, widen your toes. Imagine your sit bones are stuck. Yeah, you're a stick figure. And now with your sit bones stuck, imagine you're trying to slide them back. And oh, you get even a little bit more in your flexors, nice and tall. Good. Then take your right knee towards your chest. I like to make sure there's no more gas in my ankles. I'm a little bit vata. And then you're going to take your right heel, just high up into your left thigh. This is just a nice stretch. Inhale, circle your arms up. Yes, I am that. Aim your heart towards your left knee. Make sure the left kneecap is aiming up. And then start to tap. Tip forward and notice where your hands go. There is no goal. Close your eyes, and with every exhale, release something into the pose. And with every inhale, just come up a little bit. See if you can keep both thigh bones grounded. Press your thigh bones down, come all the way up. Oh yeah, that's good. And shake it out. I want to say do the hokey pokey, but we're not going to do that. Take your left knee into your heart. I like to just roll my ankle, see what's going on in front. Yeah. And then open your hip over to the left. This is why we do the warrior poses. Keep the hips nice and juiced up. Aim your heart towards your right knee, and your right knee's aiming up to the ceiling. Inhale, exhale, tip. Both thigh bones grounded, the left one as much as the right. It's so amazing to see that, how the different sides of your body are so different. Press your thigh bones down and come all the way up. Oh my God, you guys did so great today. And draw your knees to your chest. Open your hips. Let's just bring it. This is called Baddha Konasana, where I come from. But I think my colleagues call it peddler's pose, shoemaker's pose. This is called Baddha Konasana. This is how I know it. So you're going to press the bottom, the pinky side edges of your feet down and pull them up Lengthening your legs long. One more big stretch here. Then draw your knees to your chest. Round your back and come all the way to lying on your back. Oh, yeah. Take your knees to your chest and just take some big circles. You're going to circle your knees away from each other. Oh, yeah. Then take your hips over to the left. I have to take my foot down. I think you'd like to slide your hips to the left. Take your arms to T, palms up so the shoulder blades can hug together. Lift your knees and just drop them to the right. Really roll your ribs to the left. You can even extend your top left leg long if it's in your repertoire. And if it's not, you know what it means nothing. So just find your edge. Be you. That's what you're supposed to be. Then make your way back to center. Lift your hips and just reach them over to the right. Slide to the right. Lift your knees and drop to the left. So every pose you do, you want to find the full benefit. So you're going to really roll your ribs to the right as if you're rolling a barrel. And if your right leg can go straight, that's great. And if it can't, that's great. Good. Take one more big breath as you come back to center. Take your arms beside your body, walking your shoulder blades together. Lift your hips and just kind of roll your sit bones away from you. And then you're going to just roll your bum back to the floor. You should feel a nice, soft curve in your low back. And then extend your legs long, wide of your mat. Take one more inhale through your nose. Big. Exhale through your mouth. Right into Shavasana. And take rest. Allow the benefits of this practice, of your intention, to notice your breath, notice your body, and take rest. Start rolling your wrists and your ankles. Inhale, extend your arms up over your head. Oh yeah. Exhale through your nose, through your mouth. Draw your knees to your chest. Roll to your right side. And make your way to a seat on your mat, bringing your palms together to your heart center. This quiet community, this private, lovely community that we've created, this connected community that we've created, helps us become stronger, more flexible, and helps us in mind, body, and spirit. And I thank you all so much. The light in me honors that light in you. Namaste.
Namaste.
Let me turn off the recording. Guys, will you unmute and